Who were the Knights of the White Camellia? Ever heard of them?
The Knights of the White Camellia were a secret society of terror, born in Louisiana in 1867. They called themselves Knights. But their mission was clear: stop black men from voting and drive Republicans out of power. They operated in the shadows, working hand in hand with the Klan. Both groups spread fear using secrecy and oaths, and violence to keep black citizens out of politics. The difference was in name, not in purpose. Their tactics helped set the stage for open massacres. In April 1873, white militias carried out the Colfax Massacre in Louisiana. More than 100 black men were unalive while defending their right to vote. It became one of the bloodiest acts of racial terror during the Reconstruction era.
Did the White League try to overthrow a state government? And how does it compare to the insurrection of January 6, 2021?
The White League emerged in Louisiana in 1874. Unlike the Klan or the Knights, this group did not bother with secrecy. They marched openly with weapons, calling themselves the military arm of the Democratic Party. Their purpose was to crush black voting and drive Reconstruction officials out of power. To them, violence was politics. They staged massacres, broke up rallies, and terrorized entire towns. In September 1874, they launched their boldest move yet: the Battle of Liberty Place in New Orleans. Armed White League members stormed the city and tried to overthrow the state government by force. For several days, they controlled parts of New Orleans before federal troops restored control. It was one of the earliest insurrections in U.S. history, long before the world saw January 6, 2021. The White League showed that hate no longer needed hoods or secrecy. It could march in daylight with the protection of political allies and still call itself legitimate.
Who were the Red Shirts, and why did they terrorize voters?
The very next year, in 1875, a new group carried the same mission into other states. They called themselves the Red Shirts. Unlike the White League, which rose mainly in Louisiana, the Red Shirts spread through South Carolina, Mississippi, and North Carolina. They also marched openly, but their bright red uniforms made intimidation impossible to ignore. Their strategy was simple: show up where votes were being cast. They rode on horsebacks through towns, broke up rallies, and surrounded polling places. By showing up at political events with weapons, they sent a clear message: that casting a ballot could be met with violence. When federal troops left the South in 1877, Reconstruction came to an end, and the real backlash began. The Red Shirts did not disappear, they simply changed tactics. They gave up the Red Shirts and turned into politicians, police, and business owners, using power not just to threaten, but to deny black families work, homes, and credit. Without federal protection, white supremacist groups regained power. They attacked black voters and forced black leaders out of office. And terror became law.
That's a wrap, History Seekers. Catch the full story on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Peace and love.